All right, there's YouTube saying we are live. So, hey, folks, welcome today. We have a special treat from PSY3. I'm going to read it backwards. Hey, this is how you know we actually recorded this live. Dr. H, you know we did it live because I just messed that up, all right? Because I would otherwise edit it out. PSY8307, Advanced Single Subject Research Design. I've got my friends Lisa and Whitney here with me today. We're really excited to share our project we've been planning through and figuring out how we could do, this research design in a way that's kind of cool and helpful. It's on telehealth today. We're looking at how to do a quick FA with parents through telehealth, and if that's a valid intervention. Whitney's got some background here as a former telehealth clinician. How'd that go for you, Whitney?
It did not go well for me, to be honest. I cannot function through a computer screen. Being a BCBA works a whole lot better in person, but that's just my opinion and my experience.
Yeah, well, there's some challenges. I don't regularly do telehealth, but I do sometimes. And so, looking in to see if there's an effective way to do it, that seems like an important and beneficial study. Lisa, have you done any telehealth?
I did a lot of telehealth during COVID, and
Fair enough, me too.
best part for me is that I've been able to continue doing parent training through
Yeah.
telehealth.
Yeah, that's great.
Saves me a
Well,
lot of travel time.
and there's a huge parent training component with this research project we're talking about today. So if everybody's ready, let's jump in and we'll go through and present and explain how we're going to do quick FA with parents with support by telehealth. So here we go. Our research question, we're looking to see, does a parent run brief FA conducted with coaching by telehealth work as effectively as a brief FA completed traditionally by the BCBA? So it's basically, we're looking to validate this process. We've got a process of training and support for parents to let them do the FA with us remote, in the hopes that that's going to be an effective way for us to do an FA, because a lot of times there can be logistic challenges with getting out to a family. Rural communities might not have access to support like they would need. And so we're looking to see if this is something we can do. And it's not just something we came up with. We're extending research by Giro et al. He's got 2 articles, 2020 and 2021. You'll see that in our references below. And we want to extend that research, comparing the FAs completed by parents in-home, and see if we can get that to be an effective treatment. So let's go ahead. Single subject design. Lisa, you want to talk about the design? Get us into that.
Sure. So we're using a multiple component design. Our baseline is going to be the BCBA implemented FA, and then our independent variable is going to be the parent implemented FA with coaching from a BCBA via telehealth.
Yeah, excellent. And of course that just makes sense, right? I guess the justification, Lisa, you want to hit the justification on why we want to do it that way?
Sure. So we're going to use the multi-element design. It's kind of a multi-element between a multi-element. There's 2 of them.
Right.
One is the
yeah, it's like double multi-element. I love it.
And it can be used to compare the effects of 2 or more treatments on the same behavior. It efficiently compares intervention effectiveness, and it does not require withdrawal of the treatment.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that makes sense to me. Especially when we're trying to compare 2 things, it's just kind of obvious that that's going to be the best way for us to touch this. Any thoughts on that one, Whitney? You want to jump in or anything?
And it helps us stick with the ethics code, as we're not withdrawing anything that's potentially helpful.
Yeah, it's a really good way to do that ethically, especially because there's sometimes concerns about safety with an FA too. So yeah, as ethically as we can make it, that's great. Okay, awesome. Dependent variable. You want to continue, Whitney, since you're on a roll?
Our dependent variable for this is the outcome of the FAs, and our independent variable is the telehealth versus the in-person condition.
Yeah. Okay, and that makes sense. And so when we change, the only thing we're changing is whether the FA is being done in telehealth or in person, and then obviously we're looking to see that outcome. And honestly, in this one, we want the outcome to be the same and not to change.
Yes.
Because then that would show that we've got an effective program. So, so as we're setting this up, the participants, we're looking to get 10 participants recruited through a local parent support group. We're looking to include families where we've got at least one neurodivergent child who has an autism diagnosis. We're looking to get volunteers to sign up. Obviously, we want voluntary inclusion of participants. And then, of course, we want non-aggressive, problem-challenging behaviors, because we don't want to do something that's going to potentially harm a child in the course of research. So some kind of behavior we can do the FA with that won't be potentially dangerous. The things that we'd exclude participants over would be that if they don't have the ASD diagnosis, we're looking specifically at that. Also, if there's physically aggressive or self-harming behaviors, obviously we do not want to be evoking self-harming behaviors in a research study. That would not be good. And then if there's no challenging behaviors at all, then it's really going to be hard to target a challenging behavior with an FA if there's not one. So we'd have to exclude for those reasons as well. Going on to settings and materials. Anybody want to take this?
I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead.
For our setting, we'll have in-home with the BCBA coach via telehealth for the parent condition, and in-home with the BCBA in person at the home for the BCBA condition. A specific room in the home will be determined by the parent and the researcher, and that'll vary from family to family. Our materials will be a visual task analysis, the written directions, data sheets and pens, and a computer and video equipment.
Yeah, definitely. And so everything's all covered, and we're all ready to go and do that FA twice. For collecting data, Lisa, you want to talk about our data plan?
Sure. So the parents are going to take the FA data, which will be a count of every target behavior during each 5-minute condition, because it's brief, it's only 5 minutes, for play, tangible, attention, and escape. And then the researchers are going to take the data on the percentage of steps completed correctly by the parent.
Excellent. And I think we'd also mentioned, and we just decided to mention it now too, that we'll also be having the researchers do IOA on both conditions as well. And so data is collected for that, although it's not necessarily the data that's like part of the results of the study. It is just like we're also going to collect IOA during that too, but we left it off because it's not part of the actual data for the specific research question. Okay, parent training. So we have a parent training process. I can't remember which of you developed this one, so I don't want to take it from you guys, because I thought this was pretty good, but it's not. I didn't come up with this, so I don't get the credit. Anybody want to take the process?
I'll jump in.
Was it Lisa? I think it was Lisa, right? Okay, Lisa, go ahead. Yeah, share with us. Like, what's your training process that you came
All
up
right,
with?
so parent training is going to occur in small Zoom groups. The parents will be trained in the steps of doing that brief FA independently. Parents are going to be given a manual, and then they're also going to be given a visual that has all the steps of the FA kind of as a guide for them as they're doing it.
Right. Okay, and so to be clear, we're not just saying like we're going to boot up telehealth one day and walk them through it over the phone. There's actually a training process first to prep the families before we attempt the FA.
Yeah, we want to make sure they understand all of those steps.
Right. And so they've got materials in place. They have a training session that they've completed with us. And they've also, and obviously not to the degree that they're at a BCBA and they're ready to like go do this everywhere, but that they can complete that in this specific setting with their kids. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. I think it's a great idea. And then your coaching, what are you doing during the coaching then, Lisa?
So then coaching will consist of telling the parents which conditions to run in the current 5-minute period, teaching them how to, telling them in the moment, how to respond to target and non-behaviors each time. Oh my goodness, coaching them to respond.
Hey, it's live. It's okay. You can flub.
And then coaching them which materials to use within that condition. And then of course, answering any questions that come up during their running of the condition.
Excellent. Yeah, and so this is like the coaching is what's happening during the FA itself, right? Yeah, so this is not the training ahead. This is the coaching directly. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Procedures. You want to take over next, Whitney, for procedures?
Yep.
And I
So
think the next
procedures
slide
for
too.
our baseline, the BCBA will conduct a brief FA independently at the home. And then for our intervention, the brief FA will be conducted with the BCBA on telehealth. It will be conducted by the parent. The BCBA will be coaching the parent through it.
Okay, great. And then for IOA?
So our inter-observer agreement, all sessions will be videotaped. 2 independent data collectors will take IOA data. Training will occur with the IOA data collectors, and this will be done for at least 35% of all sessions. IOA for the dependent variable will be the total count IOA, smaller count over the larger count, multiplied by 100.
Right. Yep. Pretty much exactly how you'd want IOA done. Boilerplate quality inter-observer agreement record, and then we have that fidelity backup with the videotapes that we can use to make sure, and then that increases, that internal validity. So as far as consent and assent, Whitney, I know we just had you do 2 slides, but like this is your favorite thing in the whole world, because we talked about this like for an hour last night, so it was awesome. Great conversations. Once again, I'm going to just shout out, this is a great group. I love these guys. We've had a great time. But you want to take consent and assent, Whitney, just because it's your favorite.
Yes. So consent and assent will be explained in layperson's terms to promote understanding. This will be explained not only to the parent, but to the child that'll be participating as well. Consent forms will be signed by all participants, including the children. The participants can give assent or withdraw their assent for any time, at any time, and for any reason. And if they withdraw their assent, the FA will be paused until assent can be reestablished. If an interpreter is needed, one will be provided. And all materials will be presented in the participant's preferred language.
Excellent. Yeah, that seems like a good thing to do. It's like assent is a really good thing, I think. Seems like that's a good idea. Okay, moving on. Internal validity. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit to talk about the internal validity, but we're getting some good internal validity in this study because we do have that voluntary recruitment. No one's coerced, obviously. We don't want reluctant participants. We want people who want to be involved in it. We're using the IOA data. That's a strong support for our internal validity. And then we've got those independent data collectors that are both trained. We also have the video data we can cross over with the recorded data from the recording in the moment. And then we also have the data collection done by the researchers as well. So we have a lot of good data recording happening that's being cross-referenced with other data recording that's happening. So high quality data. Additionally, we have a pretty good sample size. If we can get 10 people, that's a pretty solid sample size for showing that this can be done. And then we're looking at 10 different families that are all going to have different personal variables. It'll show this is very generalizable as well, which supports our external validity as well, because we've got those 10 participants that can all contribute and show that, like, yeah, it's not just this one family that's got this really smart mom that can just pick it up. It's in a broad selection of families with different backgrounds and experiences. Everybody's able to do this effectively. Or if not, we can identify not everybody's able to do this effectively, and maybe here's some of the differences because we've got enough people doing it that we can kind of see that. So it really does support our external validity because of that sample size. Going on social validity, Lisa, you want to tackle this one?
Sure. So we are going to look at social validity by giving a survey to all the participants, and the questions included in that survey will include their interest in the study, their opinions on the social impacts of the study, the social impact for both the parent and the child, questions about goals, their understanding of the procedures, and the outcomes. The surveys will be given before the start of the study and then again at the end of the study.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that. I love that we've got both too, because just making sure that all the way through we're understanding where people are at, and that this is something that people really are okay with, and that really improves that televisability component, if you will. Okay, hypothetical conclusion. Obviously, we didn't get to run the study. Drat. If only. That would be a lot of extra work. So, please don't make us do that. But also, it would be cool to do. If we did do the study, we'd be looking to see, hypothetically, parents could complete a brief FA with coaching and the training component. And then we just see that the parents completed the steps correctly as well. We'd expect that with the support. And then also we'd expect to see that those FAs are socially valid and accepted. People were able to complete them with the training and coaching. And that does open up those opportunities to expand the reach of behavior analysis services out into communities that might have a challenge accessing those things. Future research would be to look at other types of FAs. This one looked at the brief FA, but also PFA is becoming increasingly popular and is a kind of an important new type of FA in the field. Can that be done by telehealth? That'd be worth investigating. Were we only able to do the brief FA because it's short? Can we get a full, proper, long form FA done through telehealth and make it work? I don't know. Let's research that. And then also, okay, telehealth treatment for FA might have worked, or an FA might have worked, but that's just an assessment. Could we do some treatments that are more advanced treatments guided by a BCBA through telehealth and compare those as well? So there's some good avenues for future research there. And, we really appreciate you sticking with us through the presentation. Once again, massive love and shout outs here to my friends Whitney and Lisa. Just a ton of effort put in by everybody to just put together this great idea. And I think you guys have done an excellent job, and I've loved working with you. And we thank you for watching this. Anybody who watches it, I probably share with some coworkers too. So if you're here, hi guys, thanks for watching through it. And anybody in the class who gets it from the video, just, we really appreciate you sticking through with us. Obviously, references, we didn't make it all up, I promise. Go check the DOIs on there. It's legit. It's good stuff, but that's what we've got. Great program, good study. I think it was great. Anything from you guys? Any shout outs or anything you want to say out there?
Just to thank you, Jonathan, for knowing how to do the technology.
It is my favorite
absolutely.
part. I enjoy it. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. And thanks for having us in this class. We'll see y'all next time. Look forward to reading your comments.